Hello there. Hello there, YouTube. I live, and this is an explainer video about some stuff I'm going to do, some desperate measures I'm going to take, and I think, well, they're the kind of thing that the kind of desperate measures that I think most of the people that watch this will understand why I've taken them. There will be some people who won't understand. Hopefully they'll forgive me. And there will definitely be some people who really don't like it. And that's kind of intentional. So, there we go. Hey, Julia Jane, how are you? I hope things are better over there across the pond than they are over here. So I've got a plan, series of plans, stuff I've been basically putting off, actually, in a way, because of the job hunt that I've been engaging in pretty intensively for the last 2.5 months at this point. And that's on top of 5 years of looking and, on and off. And I'm not going to get a job. I don't know. I'm blacklisted. I'm super unlucky. I don't know what, but I'm not going to get a job here in Belfast. Certainly not going to get a job in Swanville. So, here I am, 5 years and some change with no income. And that's just not, it's not tenable. I can't keep doing that. Stuff's falling apart around me. So I got to do something. And that's just the facts. Trolls be trolls. And, okay, I'm crying about my whatever. But it's also just the facts of the situation. It's just, here I am, 6 years of malicious prosecution and smearing by the local papers, and now I can't get a job, and now I'm destitute. Okay, that's just the facts. So there it is. So I'm in, desperate times, and desperate times, like they say, call for desperate measures, right? So I'm gonna have to take some desperate measures. I don't know what else to do, honestly. And so, but before, thank you for the endorsement, Julia Jane. I do need to do what's right for me. Now, I want to just real quick. I wish I could show it. Actually, well, no, I can't now that I'm using this camera. I got a comment that I just wanted to address here real quick, and let me see if I can find it easily. Yeah, hey, look at that. I think I found it. There we go. I'll be darned. Okay. So I'll just read it. Bear with me. This is an explainer video, by the way. It's me explaining why I'm taking desperate measures. This is a comment, relevant comment by the Holy Brain Holy Brain Bible, a viewer of my channel, and he says this in regards to my phone being stolen, me being arrested a couple of years ago, but also sort of the current situation, I guess. He says, the main problem is that you're in this small town where everything depends on tourism. And he's basically talking about Belfast. I actually live in Swanville, of course, the Swanvillan, right? But Belfast is the next town over. It's the county seat. It's where there's only one business, one store in Swanville. There, well, you can hear how busy it is here in Belfast. It's a small town still, but it's got a lot more going on than Swanville. a lot of restaurants and galleries and whatnot, and it depends in large part on tourism. That's a correct statement, and certainly my impression and many other people's as well. And so Holy Brain Bible says the main problem is that you're in this small town where everything depends on tourism, and you're threatening everyone's tourism rice bowl here with your activism. At least that's the way they see it. The people who control this little town are a very tightly knit bunch. Oh, there's a typo there. Yeah, are supposed to say are a very tightly knit bunch, and they watch out for each other. And there's a little bit more there, but let me just stop there for a second, because I'm threatening everyone's tourism rice bowl here with my activism, which has barely happened. I protested here maybe total of less than an hour of protesting a few different times here last summer. And that was apparently, I mean, there was quite a response to that in various ways. And apparently, and this is my impression as well, and it also just makes sense that, certain kinds of activism are going to somewhat threaten people's, certainly in their perception, threaten their income, their tourist income. But here's the thing. If these people are close-knit and they know, they're aware of me because it's my activism, they're blacklisting me because of my activism, presumably, and or, my criminal record, the malicious prosecution of years and smearing in the paper. But if that's the case, if my activism is threatening them, well then, they want to protect their rice bowl. Why don't they give me a fucking grain of rice? Huh? Just a couple grains of rice. But they don't want to do that. They'll cut off their noses to spite my free speech, just like the video I made recently. It's what is the point of it? I don't understand it. It's stupid. But they're going to find out just how stupid it is and how short-sighted it is. Because the less than an hour of protesting I did here over last summer, holy crap, the reaction I got from that. And see, so now here we are. And I'm even more in a position where I am going to protest and be active here. Threaten their rice bowl that much more. Why? Because they won't share any rice. They won't give me any rice. And I'm fucking starving, not literally, because I got SNAP benefits, but I can't afford basic necessities anymore. So, again, here's me crying about my situation. This situation it's not like it's caused randomly, it's not like an act of God or, a natural disaster or something. This is something that's being done to me by people. People are doing this to me. They're carrying this out in various ways. Either, I don't know how coordinated it is. I doubt the blacklisting is particularly coordinated. I don't think there's actual blacklist, but the effect is the same. It doesn't matter. And if they're a tight-knit little bunch, they know exactly who I am. They know exactly what this is about. And they're still unwilling to share. Then they're going to find out how short-sighted that thinking is, I guess. And now, Holy Brain Bible continues. He says, I think they're going to come down hard on you. Now, I'm not going to do anything illegal or violent or anything like that. And it's been my position all along. But they're going to come down hard on me, and it's not going to end well for me, unfortunately, according to, that would be my guess, concludes Holy Brain Bible. And, well, that's how it works, right? I don't have to break the law. I just have to follow the law, and it's still gonna come down on me. Let me just briefly catch up with comments here. See who's. Hey, Lacey R, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Tony Edwards says, greetings. The Bible is true. The words are true. Bring back. Okay, that's not really relevant. Thank you for sharing. But yeah. I need a 10% tithe. I'm literally destitute. Yeah, I can't afford basic necessities. So tithing is out of the question. So now let me just read a little letter I wrote over the weekend. See, because what happened is, well, there were a few. I've been job hunting, like I said earlier, pretty intensively for about 2.5 months at this point. And there, I got a little bit better results than I have in the past years. And the last of the people who were, there were a few people were kind of in contact with me and kind of, I don't want to say stringing me along exactly, but that was again kind of the effect. They weren't giving me an interview or a job, but they were expressing some little bit of interest and weren't completely disregarding me. They actually got back to me in response to my applying there, unlike in past years, where I just got ignored completely, pretty much. But the last of those over the weekend, gave me the brush off. So again, desperate measures. I don't know what else to do. And no, I can't start a business. Thank you for those suggestions, but I'm not in a position to start a business. So what I did instead is I wrote a letter to Belfast. And I'm going to read it to you all now. Again, for the record, I got to cover. This is legal issues I have to worry about. So this is kind of covering my ass to a certain extent. That's what I'm doing here in this. It's not meant to be entertaining. I hope you're entertained, but that's not the point. So here's my open letter, which I'm going to go present. I'm going to go see if the Belfast PD finally has my FOIA requests ready. I'm going to give them a notice of intent to tort, to sue, in case I want to sue them in state court, which I probably don't, but just in case. And then I have this open letter. To Belfast, Maine et al., summer 2024. To Belfast, Maine, the Belfast Police Department, and other interested parties. On July 22nd, 2023, during one of Belfast's Summer Nights events, I was repeatedly assaulted and had my constitutional rights repeatedly and forcibly interfered with by a small mob, one of whom also repeatedly attempted to steal my property, in particular my sign, and was also pulling on my shirt. Oh, I don't think he wanted to steal that necessarily. BPD officer, Belfast police officer, unknown, because I FOIA'd it, but they won't tell me who it is. Anyway, this BPD officer who was on duty at this Summer Nights thing briefly interrupted the mob's attack on me by striding into their midst and demanding to know what was going on. But then, despite me stating to him very clearly that I was being assaulted and the obvious mobbing that was going on, he just walked a short distance away without asking the mob to stop or to disperse or addressing the situation in any way. Instead, he just stood and watched as the mob went back to molesting me in various ways. Video available on this channel, or at least partially. I didn't capture the whole thing because my camera kept getting knocked out of my hands. I called out for his help a few times, but he pointedly ignored me, chatted with a bystander, and either made or took a phone call as the mob continued their assault on me. You understand? I'm being assaulted by a mob in the park at this Summer Nights event. I mean, literally, like they were hitting me and stuff, pushing me, hitting my camera, trying to steal my stuff. Cop on duty at this Summer Nights event comes up. He says, "What's going on?" I say, "I'm being assaulted." He walks away and just stands there while they go back at it and start hitting me again and stuff. I called out for his help a few times, but he pointedly, I just read that, okay. I think, and eventually one of the band members up on the stage, Ando Anderson, who I know personally, addressed the mob over the mic and finally got them to stop their attacks on me, which finally allowed me to get away because they had me surrounded. See unequal treatment on YouTube, this / the Swanvillan, in case anybody wants to, who's reading this or watching this. I have officially reported this incident to Belfast Police Department, as well as the 2 other police agencies who have just jurisdiction in Belfast, the Waller County Sheriff's Department and the Maine State Police. None of them will take any action to enforce the law in this instance. They just excuses. The fact that several individuals assaulted me, forcibly interfered with my constitutional rights, and or attempted to steal my property and did so on camera in front of dozens of witnesses, but have faced absolutely no legal consequences whatsoever, that's not acceptable to me. I'm sorry, but that's not